back on. It's still June 4th, 1997, and we had to have a quick break. We didn't realise we were so close to the end of the film there, so we were talking about Dad's side of the family for a minute, weren't we, Dad? And you telling me a bit about Grandad and his family?
Yeah, Grandad had a brother, as far as we know, lived in America for a while. Then he come back to England to live in Preston, and they named me after him, Harold.
Oh really?
Yeah.
And was your dad the oldest or the youngest?
No, Uncle Harold was the oldest, my uncle.
Your uncle, and so there were just the two boys, were there?
I have no idea.
No, he's the only one that you
No, there
remember.
were a sister lived in Preston,
Yeah.
Hilda. Yeah,
Oh, and is
I
that why? Is that where
know
Aunt
that.
Hilda was named after?
Possibly.
Don't tell me you had one called Irene and another one
No,
called.
don't think so.
No.
Oh, Hilda, she lived in Preston, and then she come to live in High Street in Richton.
Oh, where's Rishton?
Next door to Blackburn.
Oh
Just
right,
outside
that
of
sounds
Blackburn,
familiar.
in Lancashire.
Oh right. Right, so these were your aunties and your uncles.
Huh?
These were your aunties and your uncles, weren't they?
Yeah, but I never saw much on my dad, never encouraged it.
No? So you don't remember growing up with lots of cousins and aunties and uncles
No,
around?
No.
No?
There was Cyril, weren't there?
Yeah,
Was he a cousin?
yeah, big bloke,
He
6
was-
foot odd.
A cripple, he
Yeah.
worked at Dick Kerr's during the war,
Yeah.
at Preston.
So what did you do in spare time, like in the evenings or something? Did you ever do anything as a family at weekends or in the evenings?
He went out with his mates and played football, and then he went and got drunk.
I was thinking about with Grandad and Grandma as a
Oh.
little boy. I wasn't thinking about it then, but you can tell me then. I was thinking about Grandad's allotment.
Granddad's allotment and hens.
Yeah. Oh,
Chickens.
he did raise chickens.
Yeah.
And
And eggs.
what did he do for a living? He was a miner, wasn't he?
No,
I
a
thought-
weaver.
a weaver,
Cotton
oh.
weaver, yeah.
And was Grandma too?
No, never worked.
Oh, she didn't.
She used to weave till I was born, and then she let them back up to look after us.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't squeeze it at the same time. So can you remember doing anything as a family then, like at weekends or something? Would you go off somewhere for a picnic or something?
No, there was no money.
I'm sure you use your imagination though. Can't think now, can you?
No, Good Friday, that's all. Used to go down Bardy, didn't they?
Oh, it was Jack Moore's monkey. We were talking about this the other night. We remembered the monkey and we couldn't remember where it was. It was Jack Moore's monkey, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You used to take us
And
down
I
there.
believe, would you believe it? I believe there's another one down there now.
Really?
Yeah.
Jack
After
Moore's
all
monkey.
these years, about 30, 40 years, there's another one down there now.
Been revived as
Yeah.
the customer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about going to Roughly and we
Yeah.
were talking about going to Barley
Yeah.
and we were talking
Lil.
and Pendle and Jack Moore's monkey and
That's
going
as
to
far as we ever got. Then when we got back, Betsy.
and we were talking also about going up Shipley Glen. And I remember the
Oh,
days.
that one much later on when you were a youngster.
Yeah. Well, I remember going to Jack Moore's monkey though.
You do,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. And Barley with the stream.
And Woodplumpton.
Yeah. But
I used to go to Woodplumpton and
I don't
alternate
remember
with the
No, we never went.
that seat up Glenview Road near where.
when you were a girl.
Yeah.
I was going to say I don't remember going there.
No, we used to go to Woodplumpton on swing boats and things like that.
I remember going up
yeah.
Shipley Glen where we had to reverse the car
Oh,
up
do we?
because it wouldn't go back forwards, didn't we? Or am I imagining that?
That was a lot later.
Am I imagining that though?
No,
yeah,
no.
So how did you make that?
Everybody else got up, but we couldn't get up.
I remember. How did you meet Auntie Anne and Uncle Ronnie then, the two of you?
Well, Uncle Ronnie used to work with your dad.
Oh, you met him through work, did you?
Lucas,
Yeah.
All right. Right, so let's go on to you now, Mum, for a little while then.
Oh,
So-
thank you.
Well, you can tell us. Well, it's confusing if I ask you both questions at the same time. So, how many brothers and sisters had Grandma?
Grandma had one sister.
Auntie May.
Yeah,
And she had one son, didn't she?
yeah, Albert.
Well, this is going to get really difficult if you're just going to give me one word answers. Now, am I right in thinking that Albert was brought up by Grandma?
Yes, he was born in Grandma and Grandad's house on Howard Street.
Mm-hmm.
And he lived there for quite well. Auntie May and Uncle Simeon and Albert lived there for quite a number of years until Grandad got a bit browned off.
Why did Grandma bring him up though instead of Auntie May?
Well, I'm coming round to it,
Sorry.
you see.
Take your time.
they lived there for a few years until Grandad got a bit browned up with it, like I said. And he decided to buy a house for Auntie May that they could rent off him.
So your dad was quite well off, was he?
My granddad?
Oh, your granddad?
No, he was a working man.
Oh, hang on though, we are talking about your granddad that they lived with.
Yeah, Grandad Harris.
All right, sorry, I was thinking of my granddad because of...
No.
All
What
right.
they were called a gas jar.
No.
All right.
He was a working man, he
Yeah.
had no money as such.
He was a gas man, did he go around reading meters or something?
No,
Yeah.
he collected up
Well,
the
same.
meters.
All right. That was your granddad?
Yeah, you know,
Right.
people used to put money into the meter before they could get the gas out.
Like we had at Boundary Street for our electricity. We
Yeah,
used to put
yeah.
florins in and 2 shilling pieces, didn't
Those
we?
Yeah,
days
but
were-
those days it was pennies and whatnot.
Right.
Must have weighed half a ton.
They used to
Bandy
say,
legs, I bet he was
they
by
used
the
to
end.
come, people and children used to come and knock at Grandma's front door and say, "It's gas chopping." What for? "I've got a penny fast."
All right, and you
So
meter.
he, even if he were doing something, if there were a child involved, he'd go and have a look and make it right.
Yeah. Because otherwise they wouldn't get any gas
No,
out, would they, if it was
no.
jammed?
No
So what-
heating or anything.
So what did your dad do? I remember him working at Bellings with
He was
you,
a
Dad, didn't he?
postman.
Oh, didn't he used to
He
work
was
at
in
Bellings?
the army.
Yeah.
Oh, he had quite a few jobs
A
in the
regular
dad.
soldier.
He started off as a regular soldier,
Yeah.
and then he left when he married my mum.
It was in India, wasn't he?
Yes, yeah. He went to see the Black Hole of Calcutta and Agra and quite a few other places. Then he came home, met my mum, so he came out of the army. And then he got a job with a firm called Muskets. I don't know
Guns?
whether you remember them or not.
Guns?
No. Relay,
What's relay?
wireless,
Radio.
Oh, okay
radio.
then. Okay then.
anything you want to call it.
Okay then.
Radio.
But we didn't have a radio in the house, it was a speaker. We had, everybody had in the houses.
Yeah.
And you just switched the speaker on and you had what you got.
Oh, a bit like cable TV in a way, where you have to
What's
switch it
cable?
on with
but
your box.
you get choice of channels.
Oh, you didn't get a choice of channels?
No.
No,
It
no.
was, you had it on or off?
Yeah.
Okay. Sounds like my washing machine.
Nobody could afford radio, says.
Yeah.
It was just a speaker you had in your house. And you had to pay for that speaker every week.
You had to
the
rent
hire of
it,
it.
rent it sort
Yeah.
of, yeah?
And at one point, my dad used to go around and collect for muskets every Friday and Saturday.
Yeah.
And then he became a postman.
Yeah. On a round?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember that.
Yeah. He used to be up at 4 o'clock in the morning, get to work at 5.
Yeah. And then?
Yeah. After that he went to, let me think, Bellings.
So is that where I remember Bellings when he used to call at 5 o'clock and, was it 5 o'clock
Yeah.
on a Friday?
Yeah, he was going, he used to be on nights at Bellings.
Oh, so he was on his way into
And he
work.
was just going on to work, and then he used to
Ah.
come back at 9 o'clock when you were in bed.
Oh, I don't remember that obviously.
No.
And was that his last job?
Yeah. Yeah.
And what about Grandma? Grandma was always a weaver, wasn't she?
Yeah.
Mhm.
She was a weaver all during Second World War.
Now, can you?
Dad was away in the army. He went back in the army for the Second World War.
Mhm.
And what happened after that?
Well, think about. Can you think back any further, like you were saying about Grandad Harris and about what Grandma Harris? Do you remember anything about their family? Did they live close to you then?
Yes.
And
Grandma Harris and her sister used to look after us while Mum was at work during war, because Dad was in forces.
Mhm.
We only lived across the back street,
All right.
if you know what back streets are.
I do. Come on. I've lived 17 years on Boundary Street. Yeah. And what was Grandma Harris's sister called then?
Do you know?
I'm going to give you marks out of 10 for this afterwards.
Yes,
You know
because
what your
I
memories.
cannot remember, because all we ever called her was Auntie.
All right. Because she was your.
It was Auntie.
Mhm.
And she married a man called,
Uncle.
would you believe, Warburton.
Oh, that's it. I remember something about that. Yeah.
And he used to play football for Blackpool
Yeah.
before it ever became part of the Football Association or anything like that.
As a professional.
Yeah.
So did they have children? Because that would be really interesting to see if we could find any.
No, if she did have children, they died very, very young or in childbirth.
Oh, you mean that she never? There
No.
won't be any
No, there's
Warburtons
nothing.
on that line
No.
from there on.
No, it
That's
was
a coincidence
just
because it's not as if it's a big name, is Warburton, is it? I know it's an old-fashioned name, but it's not a big name, is it?
well, he used to play for Blackpool South Shore football,
Mhm.
and then Auntie went into business,
Mhm.
and she used to keep pubs.
Yeah.
But then Uncle Tom started drinking more than she took in.
2 more minutes. 2 more minutes, and then we're. So tell me, who had the cake shop?
Auntie.
Oh, she was the one that had the businesses.
Yeah.
Didn't she have a, did
She
have a chain
she
of
came
them?
out of a pub because of Uncle Tom,
Okay.
and then she opened a pie. There were 2 pie shops involved. One was Dad's, Granddad's part of the family, and not Grandma's.
And these were all in Burnley.
Yeah. She started in her business making pies and things,
Mhm.
and he still went drinking because he used to go down to Yatefield Club.
I had a feeling that it was him that was the drinker,
Yeah.
from what you mentioned before, but I wasn't going to say that on camera until you said that.
He carried on drinking and
Lost the money.
Yeah.
Now, what about your dad? Hang on, your granddad. Did he have brothers and sisters that would be your
My
aunties and
granddad.
uncles? Hang on, no. Hang on, we're talking about Grandad Harris.
Now, Grandad Harris had a friend called Hetty,
Mhm.
and she had a business up Colclough Lane,
Yeah.
dainty dairy kind of business, like a deli.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
Don't be late for Anna.
Hetty
Mhm.
had a brother and a sister,
Mhm.
and the sister was called, no, she had 2 sisters. She'd Miriam
Mhm.
and she'd Nella.
Mhm. But these were never part of the family because she never married him.
Oh,
Aunt Hetty never married.
yes, she was married.
Oh, I thought you said he had a friend, Hetty.
Grandad had a friend.
All right.
It was a friend of Grandad's. This was nothing to do with family, really, just a friend of.
All right.
But as you will see in a minute,
All right.
it does come back.
Go on then.
Hetty had 2 sisters and a brother.
Right. Okay
2
then, Dad.
sisters and 2 brothers. Sorry.
Mhm.
There was Hetty,
All
there
right.
was Miriam, and there was Nella.
Right.
Nella had MS.
This is Aunt Nella.
Yeah.
Right.
This is Nella had MS. Miriam never married.
Mhm.
Hetty married, but had no children. And her 2 brothers were Willie.
You're doing well. You're doing well.
Willie and oh God, what do they call it? Anyway, and Willie went into business as a hairdresser. On the other side, on the same side of the road as the deli, he bought a shop at the other corner to cut hair.
What street's this?
Colclough Lane.
Oh really?
Yeah. And then
What street were you born on?
Elmwood Street.
Okay.
And that house I was born in
Mhm.
belonged to Hetty. She rented it
Right.
to my mum and dad.
All right.
Now,
So what relation
wait,
is Aunt
I
Nella
haven't
to you?
finished yet.
Okay.
I told you she had 2 brothers.
Yeah.
One was Willie, who
Yeah.
had the shop barber
The hair
shop.
shop, yeah.
And the other brother
That you can't remember the name of.
was my grandfather.
Ah.
And Grandad was
Mhm.
his son.
Okay then.
Are you with me?
That